Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Live here, and today, because it's been released on Nintendo Switch Online, we're reviewing for you Chibi-Robo on the Nintendo GameCube. This review was originally written by the lovely Sean Aaron and has been adapted for video by me. But anyway, that's more than enough waffling. Let's dive right into things. Meet the Sandersons, your atypical dysfunctional family. Mr. Sanderson is an out-of-work engineer come man-child who lives on the lounge sofa playing with action figures and watching his favourite superhero program, Space Ranger Drake Redcrest, which might hit a little bit too close to home for some. Mrs. Sanderson, on the other hand, is trying to keep everything together in the wake of her husband's apparent disinterest in finding gainful employment and his habit of spending their meagre funds on children's toys. Their daughter, Jenny, wears a frog costume and refuses to communicate in anything but frog language. It's that kind of game. In a move that infuriates his wife, Mr. Sanderson brings home yet another toy in the form of Chibi-Robo, a tiny robot whose mission in life is to become the #1 Chibi-Robo in the world by giving happiness to the people of his new home. Thus is the stage set for one of the most charming and endearing games to ever grace a console, as players assume the robotic role in order to restore humanity and happiness to the Sanderson home. The game's sights and sounds are an immediate draw. The house is a bright and colourful mix of different eras, with a TV that looks straight out of the 1960s set amidst a timeless household decor filled with all manner of odd and lovable characters. The music is simple and light, punctuated by musical notes that play in time to Chibi-Robo's footsteps and change depending on the surface he's walking on. The speech is an appealing musical gibberish that is far from uncommon these days, and the English subtitles are well translated, conveying each character's own unique personality. And whilst the game's dialogue deals with serious issues like death and divorce, thankfully it doesn't get too heavy at any point, and being an active participant in the story's unfolding is one of the great joys of playing the game. Aside from that, it's not an easy game to describe, to be honest. It's not really an action game by any means, although Chibi-Robo can obtain a weapon of sorts and destroy little enemy robots called Spiders. It's not an RPG either, although you can gain larger battery capacity as you progress. And it's not really a platform game either. I mean, there's plenty of platforms and things to platform around on, but regardless, whatever the genre is, it's definitely an awful lot of fun. In keeping with the industry's obsession with the term, let's just call it action-adventure. Chibi-Robo lives in a plugged-in little house of his own on the living room floor with his companion robo-manager called Television, who floats around and giving advice until the day is done, or until you collapse because you didn't get to a plug in time. It's what we all fear. Initially, Chibi-Robo's out and about times last for about 5 minutes, but this can be quickly upgraded to 10 or even 15 as you progress. You can also buy upgrades as well as other items using the game's main currency, Moolah. You can also kind of upgrade the environment to a degree. By shooting and destroying Spiders, you can pick up pieces of scrap metal, turn them into utility bots, and they can then function as ladders and bridges to help you reach places that either you couldn't before or were just an absolute nuisance to get to before. Your activities are also going to be split depending on the time of day. There are two, day and night. During the day, the Sandersons are present and active and you can chat to them as much as you like, whereas all the toys around you are just lying there, like toys usually do. And just like real life, everyone in the game absolutely loves Chibi-Robo. Mr. Sanderson bought him and therefore absolutely has to justify his purchase. Jenny likes drawing pictures of you, and if you bring her frog rings that have been scattered throughout the house, she'll even bestow you with kisses. Mrs. Sanderson, on the other hand, enjoys having tea and being able to discuss her problems with you, being a sort of an agony aunt figure for her, being the tiny robot you are. And the dog of the house, Tao, well, Tao just growls at you. at least for now. However, when the sun goes down, the Sanderson house takes on a completely different atmosphere. All the biological entities have gone to bed, and in a move that would surprise absolutely no one who was alive in 1995, all the toys come to life. And just like the thing we're referencing, all the toys have their own little internal dramas and little things that they want to rope you into or just, moan at you about. And as is the case with any drama, be it from toy or living, breathing, fleshy thing, there's an opportunity to make that person happy. And it's your job to make that happen. One of the ways you can help is obvious, because the house is an absolute flippin' state. Before Power Wash Simulator, this is all we had, baby. At the start of every active period, you'll bear witness to more rubbish that needs to be picked up, stains to scrub off the floor, and so much else besides. It's a satisfying little gameplay loop, and you're rewarded for your efforts by a steady flow of happy points and moolah for all your troubles. And it's not just passive rewards either. Whilst Mrs. Sanderson may not have been initially over the moon with your presence, you helping out around the house is very much appreciated, and so as you reach certain milestones in cleaning, you'll get extra happy points and moolah. A bit like an achievement system, but before. This is one of those games that was absolutely made for anyone who just likes exploring virtual worlds. The eponymous robo is less than 10 centimeters tall, so the Sandersons' modest 2-bedroom home ends up being a massive world for you to navigate. And the genius of the game design comes from the fact that there are so many different ways in which this world can be explored, not all of which are immediately obvious. A big part of the fun is noticing an object just out of reach. You can see it, but you can't get to it, and then slowly as you go through the game you'll work out that you can get up there, or maybe you need an upgrade or something like that. I mean, it's not exactly out of this world in its design, but it's very satisfying. Chibi Vision gives you a first-person view through the robot's eyes, highlighting special items and enabling full camera control beyond what's present in normal third-person view. This was released on the GameCube. This was by no means a given. Items that can be used for cleaning make themselves known immediately, but there are certain other items the function of which won't be absolutely known until you have a later conversation or some other event takes place. If we do have a criticism to make, it's that the automatic camera does sometimes allow objects to block your view or have trouble changing perspective when you're navigating a tight corner in a room, but thankfully manual control with the C-stick is available and does a good job of moving around obstacles. Although because this was made in the past, the camera does not phase through objects, so if something's in the way of the camera, it's really in the way of the camera. Throughout our time, we really got the sense that the developer Skip really did their best to bring this world to life and let players have fun exploring it. Rather than using a mission structure or outright just telling you what to do, you give them the tools and then entice to just do stuff. It's like the Breath of the Wild of Chibi-Robo. You are given some degree of direction to move the main story forward and stuff like that, but you're under absolutely no obligation. You can just go around and clear up paw prints all day if you like. The little bite-sized activities and ability to save anywhere you can plug in to recharge your batteries also makes Chibi-Robo well-suited if you don't have time for lengthy play sessions, and that's even easier on the Switch too. Chibi-Robo is an oddity, a game with a simple goal but a great deal of freedom in how you make the journey. It's a game about tiny altruistic robots helping humans with real problems, told in a light-hearted manner that will appeal to a nice and wide audience. This is one of those games that really helps define where Nintendo is coming from as a company, focusing on making people happy and having fun, rather than necessarily shooting them in the face or sawing them in half. Chibi-Robo, you're getting a 9 out of 10 from us. You've reached the end of the review. That means it's time for Alex's personal thoughts, and I mean, if you know anything about me, if you're a long-time fan of the channel, you won't be surprised to know that I love this game. I have played it before, but by no means to a super broad extent or anything like that. So this time around, when I played it for this review, and I'm definitely not at the end yet, it's been an absolute joy from start to finish. or at least start to when I am now. Some things have definitely aged about it. Some of the dialogue maybe goes on a little bit too long at points. I mean, it's broadly very fun and well written and stuff like that. But there are some instances where it's like, I would just like the text to move a little bit faster, and there's no option to do that. You just have to wait. Some of the platforming also can be a little bit finicky, but that in a way almost adds to its charm. But that is coming from someone who grew up on games like this, so do take that with a pinch of salt. If you got access to this game, I can't recommend it highly enough. It's such a weird experience. There was some really great sort of experimentation at this time, and it gives me just a slither of hope that maybe another weird experimental game that came out on the GameCube might make its way to NSO in the future. Fingers crossed, eh?